Who you voting for?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Man, Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Shit, Trump. If it's a choice, I'll go with Trump.
Kamala or Trump?
Trump.
Trump?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is 100% beating Kamala Harris in the 2024 elections. And you want to know how I know? This isn't clickbait. I can see the future. Now, what I want to talk about has nothing to do with the polls, nothing to do with what the pundits are saying, nothing to do with media coverage. Throw that all out the window. Because what I have is a much more accurate testament to how this election is going to turn out. Let me give you a little bit of backstory about myself. So I voted for Trump in 2016, moved to LA in 2020, and didn't vote in 2020 because California is a blue state. I wasn't gonna waste my time going to the polls for moral reasons. And it wasn't until later in 2021 when Biden just started fumbling every single issue that I decided to go out and buy a Make America Great Again hat. And I'm in the heart of one of the most liberal places in the United States, Los Angeles. And I started wearing my Make America Great Again hat everywhere. To the parties, to the clubs, to the grocery store, to restaurants. I mean, everywhere. It was like my go-to hat. I wore it so much I would probably order another one like every month and a half, I swear. And the insight I got by wearing this hat everywhere was an unparalleled understanding and perspective of literally thousands and thousands of people about how they felt about Donald Trump. And the reason why I like to wear it, especially to like bars and clubs and stuff like that, I knew I was gonna cause people to want to debate with me. That's what I was seeking. But why I liked wearing it so much is I'm half black. So a lot of the accusations that were being thrown around to Trump supporters at the time were white supremacist, racist, misogynist, bigot, whatever. If you were a white person wearing the hat, a person didn't have to engage in substance with you. They could easily just cast you off as a racist white supremacist and move on. So they had to engage in substantive discourse with me, in which they always lost. But it was more than just beating some liberals in a debate. It was, I truly wanted to understand and get an insight into the minds of these people, why they thought the way they did, why they believed what they did. And what I found was extremely shocking. But I digress, it's not about that. Slowly over time, later in 21, 22, 2023, I noticed something very interesting, which was the acceptance for me wearing the hat and the praise that I received for wearing the hat from people of all races, Indians, Hispanics, blacks, whites, Asians, all giving me mad props and praise and for wearing this hat so openly in such a hostile environment towards conservatives. And they really appreciated that I was willing to wear it and express myself when they themselves couldn't, whether it be because they would be socially ostracized, or they might lose their job, or they might lose their internship. There were severe and real consequences for people for standing up and espousing their support for Donald Trump. So people really appreciated that I was willing to do that. And at a certain point, I almost started feeling like it was my responsibility. I worked for myself, I was self-employed, making over $1 million a year. Why not? Why not? And over time, I started to realize that the hate, the animosity towards Donald Trump wasn't really real. It was largely manufactured by the media and left-wing narratives. And I'm from Illinois, and so I would always travel frequently back home to Illinois, also a very liberal place. And the response was the same there, which was people were so fed up with the way that Biden was handling the economy that they were actually looking at Trump in a different light. It's easy to call out all the mean tweets and the less than presidential behavior, if we should call it that, when everything is perfectly fine and great and dandy and you have nothing to worry about. But the moment that you actually get the alternative, and the alternative is so much more detrimental and harmful on your way of life, people started to understand that, okay, maybe Trump isn't like somebody I would invite to a barbecue, but as our president, he certainly was making life better, cheaper, easier, safer for everybody. And everybody was waking up to it and seeing it and realizing it. And it was an awesome thing to experience in real time. And again, I don't think very many people have the level of insight about this that I do. I mean, I literally was talking to thousands of people about this over the past 4 years. And so what I got was an unparalleled pulse, if you will, on the real and genuine culture and beliefs of Americans as it related to Donald Trump. And I can tell you that Kamala's not winning. Kamala isn't winning. When I first started wearing the Trump hat in 2021, it was very taboo to wear it. Very taboo. And even then, people were giving me props and congratulating me and thanking me for having the courage to wear it. But again, slowly over time, I started seeing in real time as the Democrat agenda was so harmful that not only did it become more acceptable for people to openly support Trump, but the amount of praise that people gave me increased as well too, drastically. Drastically. From poor people to rich people and people of all races. It seemed that there was a common consensus, which is things aren't good. And once you start realizing that things aren't good and you're experiencing $6.90 per gallon gas, which was the case in Los Angeles, that you really start to prioritize things in what you believe and who you support as somebody who's going to take charge of the economy and lead in that aspect. And all the nice, feel-good kind of stuff that they thought that they wanted in a president, they changed their mind on what was important to them. And I think as things have progressively just gotten worse, I think it has been a consistent decline in standard of living, in affordability, in housing prices, in not housing prices decreasing, but the ability for Americans to purchase and own homes. I think that people now have no problem admitting Trump support. There are very few circles in which people still can't vocalize their support for Donald Trump. I would say upper class, liberal, white society, and college campuses, for the most part in general. Where I'm from in Illinois is home to the University of Illinois campus, so I also talk to very many college students about this too. And don't get me wrong, the support is crazy overwhelming for Donald Trump, but you can see the scenarios in which people have to mask that support. And I hate to say it, it's typically when guys are around the girls and they don't want to offend them and they don't want to turn them off. They're just looking to hook up and they don't really care about standing on their political values in that moment. But when you get them away from that situation, they all support Donald Trump. I have a lot of friends from where I grew up who are, for lack of a better word, they're more street, they're more hood. Friends with them on Facebook because I find it incredibly entertaining to see the stuff they post about. But they support Trump. They like Trump. There is this video, I'm gonna play a little clip where you guys can see a store owner in the hood is asking the customers, Trump or Kamala, and it is 95% Trump support. 95%. I'll play this clip right now. Watch.
Who you voting for?
Trump.
Come on, bro. Harris does backwards, bro.
What?
Harris.
Man, we not voting for that, man. We voted for Trump, man.
Why?
Man, we not with none of that, man. Chuck be looking out for the black community, man. We ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. And who you voting for, Trump or Kamala?
Man, Trump. We ain't with that Indian ass, man.
Who, Kamala?
Yeah, we ain't.
Why you don't fuck with her?
Cause she fuck with them immigrants. I'm black.
So why you ride with Trump so much?
Because them Venezuelans taking all our bread. They getting paid anything to work, folks. They getting paid anything to work. They out here creating gangs. They gang banging, breaking in bandit cribs, all type of good shit. We ain't fucking with it.
So you don't like an open border?
Nope. We need that border.
Hey, what are your thoughts on when Trump got shot?
Man, hey, don't try to take my boy out. Make America great again.
Hey, Trump or Kamala?
Shit, Trump, to be honest.
Damn, so why Trump though?
Why Trump? Cause shit, we used to get paid and shit, like he used to keep immigrants out, so it was able for us to get jobs. It's hard for us to get jobs now, shit, cause immigrants taking over.
Like, what would make you want to vote for Kamala?
I ain't gonna lie, we was the last two people on earth. Still wouldn't do that shit.
Damn.
On bro grade.
Like I said the first time, if it's a choice, I go with Trump. She ain't no good. I'll put it like that. So whoever wanna believe in going her, check her history. Y'all turn around, nigga.
Kamala or Trump?
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 Yeah.
Come on, bro. Kamala till it's backwards, bro.
Man, what is you Kamala, we voting for Trump, but what are you talking about? You know damn well we don't Kamala.
Why?
Trump.
Trump or Harris?
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
Oh, Trump?
Yeah.
So as you see, the hood doesn't like Kamala or Biden. They like Trump. And so this notion that Donald Trump is like this racist fascist who hates all these other people except for white people, it's just not a notion that anybody's buying. And I think that the media is trying to cover it and portray it as if it's a narrative that has legs. And I'm here to dispel that. It doesn't. Asians overwhelmingly support Trump. Indians overwhelmingly support Trump. I'm just baffled where these pollsters are getting any of their information from. Because if you go out there and you talk to real people, nobody is rocking with Kamala. Nobody. Everybody likes Trump's aura. No matter what the media tells you, when he got shot at, got up, raised his fist and yelled, "Fight." That for a lot of people was the deciding moment. For a lot of undecided people, it solidified the support with his base, obviously. But for a lot of people in the middle, they saw a person who could be retired, relaxing, living a billionaire's lifestyle, but instead is getting shot at because he cares and loves about his country so much. And for people who are like, oh, well, Trump only cares about himself. You know, he doesn't care about his fellow countrymen. I think it's crap. But let's just say for a second that that was true, that was the case. He's an American businessman. His interests are directly aligned with mine, with yours, with every other American's. If America does well, Trump and his family does well. And those are the kind of incentive structures that I like. They're aligned with the average and everyday American. Don't listen to the pundits. Don't look at the polls. Don't believe what the media says. Just go out and talk to regular people. Get a feeling of the pulse of the culture, of what people think, of what people believe, of how they feel. And I promise you, it ends up becoming a no-brainer. Donald Trump is going to win the election. The only way that the Democrats can win is by trying another assassination attempt. Their candidate had the lowest approval rating of a vice president. And when I talked to a Democrat supporter, they said, well, yeah, but now she doesn't. I guess I see that. But my question is why? What changed? Why would her becoming the nominee all of a sudden make her extremely popular? She hasn't done anything different. Her positions haven't changed. The way she conducts herself hasn't changed. What's representing this giant bump in approval? I think it's all manufactured. I really, really do. Again, I've talked to thousands of people about this topic. There are ones who are openly vocal about their support of Trump, and then there's a lot of people who are low-key with their support of Trump. But those people, the open supporters and the low-key supporters, represent like 75%, 80% of people. Even in California. I'm dead serious. California could go red if it wanted to. The census says that there are some 30 million people over age 18 in California. And in 2020, only 17 million total votes were casted. 11 million Democrat, 6 million Republican. So I bet a wide margin of those 13 million who didn't vote were people just like me in 2020 who thought, I'm not gonna waste my time showing up and voting because California is going to be a blue state anyway. I think that if the average Californian knew how the other one felt and that there were a lot more people who thought the way they did, they would get out there and vote and they could make the state red. To my fellow Republicans, I just want you to know, you need to go out and vote. But if you do that one simple thing, you have nothing to worry about. This election is in the bag. Trump winning is secured. I've seen the future. I felt the pulse of the nation. I think we have a beautiful victory in front of us, and I can't wait for America to be great again.